Today I wanted to share this really great stormy book called Thunder Cake. It's written by one of my favorite author and illustrators, so she writes the words and draws these beautiful pictures and paintings, Patricia Polacco. The book is dedicated to her Babushka, which means her grandmother. So it's based on a true story, and it's written about her grandmother from when she was little in Michigan, and her grandmother came from Russia as an immigrant to move to a new country. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is a thunder cake day, all right. Looks like a storm coming in." "Child, you come out from under that bed. It's only thunder you're hearing," she said. The air was hot, heavy, and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows, and made me grab her close. "Steady, child," she cooed. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today." "Thunder cake?" I stammered as I hugged her even closer. "Don't pay attention to that old thunder, except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting, real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand?" she asked. "We need to know how far away the storm is so we have time to make the cake and get it in the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be real thunder cake." Her eyes surveyed the black clouds away off in the distance. Then she strode into the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. "Let's find that recipe, child," she crowed as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained pages to a crease spot. "Here it is, thunder cake." She carefully penned the ingredients onto a piece of notepaper. "Now, let's gather all the things we'll need," she exclaimed as she scurried toward the back door. We were outside by the barn door when a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting like Grandma told me to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the thunder roared. 10 miles. It's 10 miles away, Grandma said as she looked at the sky. "About an hour away, I'd say. You'll have to hurry, child. Gather those eggs real careful like," she said. Eggs from mean old Nellie Peckhen. I was scared. I knew she would try to peck me because she always did. "I'm here. She won't hurt you. Just get those eggs," Grandma said softly. The lightning flashed again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I counted. 9 miles, Grandma reminded me. Milk was next. Milk from old Kick Cow. As Grandma milked her, Kick Cow turned and looked mean right at me. I was scared. She looked so big. Zip went the lightning in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom went the thunder, and I stopped counting. 8 miles, child, Grandma croaked. "Now we have to get the chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed." I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through tangleweed woods to the dry shed. Suddenly the lightning split the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I counted. Boom, ba-boom, crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking next to Grandma. A jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I counted. Crackle, crackle, boom, kaboom, the thunder bellowed. It was dark, and I was scared. "I'm here, child," Grandma said softly from the doorway. Hurry now, we haven't got so much time. We've got everything but the secret ingredient left. 3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries, Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed up high on the trellis. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, she said. Her voice was steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked strawberries. Lightning again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I counted. Kabang, kaboom-a-room, the thunder growled. We hurried back to the house and the warm kitchen, and we measured out the ingredients. I poured them in the mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured batter into the cake pans and put them in the oven together. Lightning lit the kitchen. I only counted to 3 and the thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, Grandma said, and the cake is in the oven. We made it. We'll have a real thunder cake. Here are the different steps. Anybody know what this is? She's making the butter. She's churning it up. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out the window for a long time. Why, you aren't afraid of thunder. You're too brave, she said as she looked right at me. I'm not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? But you got out from under it, she answered. And you got eggs from mean old Nellie Peckhen. You got milk from old Kick Cow. You went through Tangleweed Woods to the dry shed. You climbed the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, only a very brave person could have done all those things. I thought and thought as the storm kept rumbling closer. Hi, Squid. She was right. I was brave. Brave people can't be afraid of a sound, child, she said, as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried into the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake had cooled, we frosted it. Just then, lightning flashed, and this time it lit the whole sky. Even before the last flash had faded, the thunder rolled, boomed, crashed, and boomed just above us. The storm was here. Perfect, Grandma cooed. Just perfect. She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on top of our thunder cake. As rain poured down on our roof, Grandma cut a wedge for each of us. She poured us steaming cups of tea from the samovar. When the thunder roared above us so hard it shook the windows and rattled the dishes in the cupboards, we just smiled and ate our thunder cake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. And here's the recipe for Babushka's thunder cake. You cream together, one at a time, a cup of shortening, 1 3/4 cup sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 3 eggs separated. Blend the yolks in and beat the whites until they are stiff and then fold in after. 1 cup of cold water and 1/3 cup of pureed tomatoes. Then you sift together 2½ cups of cake flour, a 1/2 cup dry cocoa, 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. You mix the dry mixture into the creamy mixture, and then you bake in 2 greased and floured 8½ inch round pans at 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. Frost with chocolate butter frosting and top with strawberries. Delicious. The end.